Hi, my name's Greg Ammerman. I'm the Director of Training, and also my wife and I are Senior Regional Vice Presidents with the company. And we know somebody invited you to take a look at what FES has to offer, and we want to do the very best we can to share this great opportunity with you. Every time I have a chance to present the opportunity, I always have to think back as to why I got involved. I did everything I thought I was supposed to do as a kid growing up, listened to my parents a few times. In my household, they stressed education. And so while I did graduate from high school, go on to college, and even though it took me 6.5 years to finally get a degree, I did. And then I went and got a job like most people do. And it didn't take me long to realize that, wow, what I was doing wasn't really affording me the lifestyle that I wanted. I was living check to check, month to month. I was at the time living in someone else's house, paying a couple of $100 a month for rent, 3 months behind on my car payment. And that was in no way what I envisioned for myself. So I started thinking to myself, there has to be a better way. What else can I do? And fortunately enough, I was introduced to this industry, and more importantly, I was introduced to financial education services that really showed me a better way. And so that'll be the question for you. Are you looking for a better way? Are you looking for an alternative? Are you maybe tired or frustrated with where you are, and you're just would be open to something that can put you in a place that you really want to be? So I'm going to run through what FES has to offer, and let's see if it's a good fit for you. Now, when you think about it, why FES? Well, think about it. How many people out there today are struggling in so many different ways? They have less than perfect credit. They have too much debt, no idea how to pay it off. They don't have their personal and financial affairs in order. They don't like their job, and they're actually looking for some kind of change. Or how many people need to just make more money because they can't do the things they want to do, like afford an annual vacation, or they're just not where they want to be in life. And really, what is the solution, right? People are looking for the solution, the answer, a game plan. And so when you think about it, you say, why is this? Why is it that so many people who have goals and dreams aren't living those dreams? And really, it boils down to one thing, and it's our formal education in terms of the lack of things that we received as kids. When you think about it, and I don't know what school you went to, but how many classes did you have on personal finance, such as balancing a checkbook, or understanding the first thing about how important credit is, or knowing how to protect your assets and your family and your identity? Or how many classes do we have on being wealthy, or being an entrepreneur, or making your own schedule, and being in control of all of the things you want to do in life? We didn't have those classes. So I'm certainly not here to minimize our formal education. Teachers do a great job with the curriculum that they're given to teach, but there's a lot of things we didn't learn. So we may have learned how to read and write and do arithmetic, and while those things are extremely important, how about how to be wealthy? How about how to earn millions of dollars? I mean, wouldn't that have been a good thing to learn as well, to be able to afford us the quality of life that I'm sure most people want? And so when you think about it, that's what financial education services is all about. We provide the financial education and really the success training that we needed a long time ago. And then at the same time, we provide solutions with our services that are going to help people get their personal and financial affairs in order by protecting their identity, their credit, their family, and their finances. And when you have something that people need, that's in demand, what is that going to lead to? That's going to lead to lucrative opportunities. It's going to lead to chances to make great money. And of course, that can really change an individual's life. Now, our company is really, really solid. Founded in 2004 by two gentlemen, Mike Toloff, Paramanayak, who are very experienced, have over 30 years of combined experience in our industry, doing a great job with running our company. We're headquartered out of Farmington Hills, Michigan. We have an A+ rating, and we're accredited with the Better Business Bureau. We've had extreme growth in our company year after year after year. We're a debt-free company, and we've had the same key executives with the company since the inception of the company. It just shows you the stability we have. We're not a startup. We're not a fly-by-night company. Let's talk about our core service. What are we actually offering people out in the marketplace? And it's something called the Protection Plan membership. This is a plan that will protect somebody's identity, credit, family, finances, lifestyle, and ultimately their future. Let's talk about what is actually in a protection plan membership, and we'll do so by starting with one of the flagship products within the protection plan, which is our credit restoration service. When you think about it today, credit is like a vital sign. I mean, it's being monitored at all times, and it can impact a lot of things like your insurance premiums, your interest rates, whether you'll have the ability to rent something or purchase something or get a credit card, and in some cases, even get a job. And the biggest thing that stands out to me is when you think about it over the course of your lifetime, and statistics say that if you don't have a good credit score, that you're going to waste a lot of money, anywhere from $200,000 literally up to $1 million over the course of your lifetime. So you got to ask yourself, could you use an extra $200,000 in retirement that you didn't waste because of a poor credit score? Well, we help people restore their score with our service. When you first get on the service, you're going to have an opportunity to have your own client portal. You'll see what your initial credit score is, and then you'll be able to utilize the service. And what that service provides is it helps you to leverage your rights under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, which gives you the ability to investigate and or dispute any item that's on your credit profile. Because unfortunately, the credit bureaus don't necessarily verify the items like they should. So, of course, what happens? You end up with erroneous items, you end up with obsolete items and things of that nature, and therefore those items can potentially be removed, regardless of what it is. It could be a bankruptcy, a late payment, a charge-off, a judgment, a repossession, a short sale, a foreclosure. Regardless of what it is, it can potentially be removed from your credit score, from your credit reports, and obviously, if that were to happen, your credit score is going to go up. We've been doing this for almost 15 years. We've already had almost 1 million derogatory items removed from people's credit profiles. We've helped tens of thousands of people that have been extremely satisfied with our service. And once again, we have an A+ rating with the BBB. Now, we don't just stop there, because within the protection plan, we work at every angle to help you to increase your credit score and to maintain a great credit score. And we help you with something called Positive Credit Builder, which is going to help you to and give recommendations for adding the appropriate positive trade lines to your credit profile and helping you to build positive credit habits. Also, Debt Zero, which is an interactive online debt payoff system and a budgeting tool, because of course if we can lower your debts, then that's going to raise your score as well. We also have a credit attorney available to us in case we need to have an attorney step in to represent you if necessary with the credit bureau. So you just have the confidence to know that you'll have a defense team on your side if you need it. And also credit monitoring. Everybody in this day and age should know what their credit score is 24/7, should know what's on their credit reports 24/7, and with credit monitoring, you'll have that access. Now, we truly believe that the best evidence of all is the results of our clients. Here's just a couple of stories as an example. In just a couple of months, my credit score increased to the point my car insurance premium was lowered by $2,000 per year. So when you think about that, that's a lot of money. And if your score is affecting your insurance premium like this, that means a lot of money is being wasted. It's unnecessary. That's why having a great credit score is so important. How about my credit score went from a 586 to a 748, allowing me to purchase a new car with no money down and a very low monthly payment? What does that really mean? It just means control. Because when you got an excellent credit score, you're going to go into a car dealership, you're going to tell them what I'm going to put down, you're going to tell them what my interest rate is going to be. And if you have a really poor credit score, they're going to tell you what you're going to put down, they're going to tell you what you're going to pay. What do you want? Don't you want control? Then you need excellent credit. How about having our bankruptcy removed? We were able to purchase a home, got a low fixed interest rate, saved us almost $1,000 per month. Well, again, look at waste. If you go out $1,000 per month times a year, that's 12 months, that's 12,000. Go out 10 years, that's 120 grand. So do you want to waste 120 grand? Of course not. So this is why having excellent credit is so important. And then after just 45 days, I had a tax lien and a foreclosure deleted from my credit reports. And that kind of speed can happen for individuals. You know, it's a process, and there's no way to guarantee the time frame it will take to have these kinds of results. But just know there are individuals who have utilized our service and seen this kind of result in that kind of time frame. Now, we don't just stop by helping you to get your credit score where it needs to be. We want to protect that credit score. Once you've got a great credit score, we want to protect your good name. And so we have identity theft protection that comes in your protection plan as well. And everybody needs that. I mean, how many times do you have to hear about banking institutions and large retailers and even the government themselves saying they've been compromised, where Social Security numbers are everywhere? And so you can't stop that from happening. But what you can do is you can have insurance. You could protect yourself by somebody watching out for it. And then on top of that, if something were to happen, that someone's going to stand up for you and make sure it gets straightened out. LifeLock is the premier identity theft program out there today, and we enable you to have it through our protection plan. Also, we provide you a will, trust, power of attorney, and something called the financial lockbox, because we want to make sure that our clients are protecting their assets, they're protecting their kids, that they've got all of their personal and financial affairs in order. This is a program developed by attorneys. You have the ability to set all these things up. Also, a way to organize all of your personal and financial information in one safe place, that if God forbid something happens to you, that people who should have the information have access to it, so that your family is always secure, safe, and everybody has peace of mind. In addition to these really important services, because of our buying power with our membership, we're also able to provide you money-saving benefits, such as prescription discounts ranging anywhere from 10% up to 85%. You'll have your own travel portal through your protection plan, which will give you great savings on travel and vacations. You'll be able to shop online like you ordinarily would do at any major retailer, but the only difference is not only can you get potential discounts, but you can get cash back on that shopping. And then also we provide insurance solutions to make sure that all of your insurance needs are covered and you're in a good spot there. In addition, we provide you a great resource. This is the website that you'll be using. This is FESprotectionplan.com. Great place to learn about all the services, but also this is where you'll be logging in to actually utilize your client portal. Very safe, very secure, and a great way for you to, again, get all of your personal and financial affairs and your credit where you would want to have it. And what's great about what we offer is we provide all of this at a way people can afford it. Because when you look at it, what would you put as a price tag on protecting your family, your lifestyle, your future? What would that be worth? Could you even put a price tag on it? Well, I can tell you this. If people went out and got all these services individually, they could be spending up to 10 grand when you start thinking about an attorney for this, an attorney for that, an attorney for this thing that I need to get addressed. So it ends up being thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, or even when you look at it on a monthly basis, you start looking at $400 a month. Most people aren't going to be able to afford to do that. What we do with our protection plan is amazing because it's beyond reasonable. We offer all of these services for only $87 a month. That's less than $3 a day. Think about how many people waste $3 a day, whether it's going out for that gourmet cup of coffee every day, $3 for that. What if it's going out after work for happy hour? Certainly $3 for that. How about hitting the vending machine at work for $3? Or how about, paying for your DirecTV or your cable or whatever it is so that you can have this luxury at home? So we waste $3 a day on lots of things. How about investing $3 a day in getting your personal and financial affairs in order, protecting your family, and having peace of mind? I certainly think it's well worth it. And out of this $87, we're taking care of our communities. We believe that the problem, as we talked about, is it stems from the lack of education we have. So out of this $87, we take $2 and we invest it in the youth in America. We have a foundation called the Youth Financial Literacy Foundation. We go into schools. We work with young people ages 8 to 18 on the matters of personal finance. And then on top of that, we offer scholarships each year that help young people to have the chance to go to college. They do a financial literacy research project, they write an essay, and they've got a chance to participate in getting hundreds of thousands of dollars that this foundation gives away in college scholarships to people that want to become better managers of their personal finances. It's a great thing that we do. Now, at this point, the most important thing is to ask yourself, is there a need for what we're talking about? Is there a market there? And if in your mind you think to yourself, yeah, everybody needs this. I mean, everybody needs great credit. Everybody should have their personal financial affairs in order. Absolutely. Well, that'll lead you to understanding then there's a big opportunity. Because whenever you have something in demand, whenever you have something that people need versus it being a luxury, then you've got a huge market out there of people. And so that leads us into talking about what FES can offer you in terms of income opportunities and all the potential that we have. And when you start out thinking about what FES has to offer, the first thing is hopefully that you want control. I know for me, I didn't have control. When I first got my job, I didn't control my income. They told me what I was going to get. They told me what time to show up. They let me know when I could possibly move up to the next level. They told me, here are the benefits. They told me what you'll be able to retire after 40 years. And all of those things meant that I didn't control my future. So are you in the same boat? Do you want to change where you're at? Or even if you own a business, a lot of times people say who own a business, they'll say, well, my business really owns me because I still don't have control because I got to show up every day at the same time. I don't have control over all of these things that I would want to have. And so when you look at what FES has to offer, it gives you that control. And I hope, just like me, you have some level of concern. You're looking at these magazines right here on the screen, Fortune magazine, U.S. News, Time, reputable magazines that talk about the current state of affairs. I mean, Fortune magazine saying 50 and fired, so that means you work till 50 plus and then they fire you so they can hire somebody younger for less money? Or where did my career go? Or will you ever be able to retire? Those are concerning things, and that's why we look at FES as an opportunity to make sure that that doesn't happen to you. So FES is what we call a hybrid marketing company. And so what does that mean? Well, that means we take the best of what corporate America has to offer, which is what? Infrastructure. They provide the infrastructure. Everything here is already created, already built. Everything's in place. The only thing you got to do is the actual work. And so that's the side that everybody should want, the entrepreneurial side, which means now you have the chance to control your income, your advancement. You have the chance to make your own schedule. You have the chance to create a lifestyle you always dreamed of because there's no limit. Yet you don't have all the headaches, the liabilities, the upfront, huge investment costs. You don't have any of those things. All you got to do is build your business. And so how does all that work? Well, what do we do to earn that income and those benefits? Well, we have two divisions. The first division is really about developing sales and developing a pipeline for sales, developing what we call corporate accounts. And then we have the business development side where we have the ability to recruit, train, and manage a nationwide sales organization, which is a big part of achieving wealth, incorporating the efforts of others. Let's first start out with corporate accounts. Well, think about it. How many businesses out there today rely on having credit-worthy clients? A lot of them. So you think about a mortgage broker, a car dealership, or real estate agent, they rely on having credit-worthy clients, meaning they have unqualified buyers. What we're able to do with individuals like that is team up with them, work with them to help them to turn their unqualified buyers into qualified buyers. And by doing so, that enables us to go out and develop these win-win relationships to help them succeed, and then we in turn can succeed as well. Also, when you look at other businesses and industries, bankruptcy attorneys, loan modification companies, debt settlement companies, tax professionals, things of that nature, they're working with their clients trying to help them with their service, but in turn, their credit is being damaged. So we can step in and help those individuals to get back on track, get a second chance. And so these relationships can be created to lead us to an array of sales opportunities. So when you look at personal sales, if you're going out and you're selling our protection plan membership, for each $87 protection plan, you have the opportunity to earn $50. You can earn more, and we'll get to that, but you can earn just by selling the service. You could choose to earn $50. And so when you go out and you think about as an agent, you sell a service to somebody, $50, another customer, $50, another customer, $50. This can add up if you look at it as more of a supplemental income type of thing. We even offer an opportunity for people that want to get started and really get to work, get out of the gate quickly. When you make 2 protection plan sales within your first 30 days, you'll get an additional what we call $50 fast track bonus. So the income potential is there. On a part-time basis, you go out and sell 3 protection plans a week, you're looking at $600 per month. Now, for somebody that's already struggling to make an extra $600 per month, it's a pretty good deal considering that how long it's going to take you to sell the service. Let's call it an hour. You're looking at $50 an hour. There's not a whole lot of places you can get a second job or supplemental income opportunity for $50 an hour. So $600 per month. What if you got 6 customers per week? That's $1,200 a month. What if you got 15 customers per week? I mean, that's almost $40,000 a year. That for a lot of people is like a full-time job. Now remember, this is just you doing it yourself. This is you going out, you establishing the relationships and developing the sales to make $40,000 per year. But you don't have to do it yourself. Now, in addition to the protection plan membership, we also offer the ability to sell some of the other services individually. So some of the services within the protection plan you could sell individually, and some of the other services that aren't in the protection plan we have that you can also offer individually. But let's move on and talk about the second way you can really start to earn income, and that's by developing a business. And we believe that it makes sense to listen to people that have been successful, and if you do what successful people do, you probably have a good chance to end up where they are. And so when you think about somebody like J. Paul Getty, who was a prominent billionaire, I think he said it best when he said it's better to get 1% of 100 people's efforts rather than 100% of your own. But you see, we weren't taught that. If you go back again to school, we were taught that if you want it done right, you should do it yourself. I mean, think about this. If you went to school and the teacher said, look, some of you in here are smarter than others, some of you in here study harder than others, those of you who aren't that smart, those of you who didn't study, why don't you sit next to the ones that do and get the answers? Well, how many of you would have done better in school? Well, everybody would have done great in school, but you can't do that, right? They call that cheating. You get in trouble for that. You go to the principal's office, you might get expelled. But let's fast forward. Now you're an adult. You're out in the real world. They don't call it cheating. You know what they call it? Hiring. That's right. They call it hiring because people who own companies oftentimes don't even know everything there is to know about their company. They don't have the expertise in all the different areas. They hire people to do those jobs, and you know what they go do? Whatever they love to do. Maybe they go play golf, or they go fishing, or they take vacations. And so for myself, I looked at that and said, wow, that's so true. But because we didn't learn that in school, what do we tend to do? We tend to go be those individuals that work for somebody else instead of being an individual like J. Paul Getty and incorporating the efforts of other people. So what we're able to do with our company is we have something established called our Customer Acquisition Bonus Program. And that means that when you get started and you're an agent, you have the ability to go out and bring on a new agent. And when that new agent has a couple of protection plan sales, upon them getting started, they get to work, they have a couple of protection plan sales, you just made what we call a $100 cab bonus. Plus, you'll have the opportunity to generate residual income. Now, this is off of another individual in your business having these sales. Now, then you have an opportunity to move up. Who controls when you move up? You do. When you and your team accumulate a total of $1,600 in volume, you become what we call the field trainer. Now, as a field trainer, you bring on a new agent. That new agent has a couple of protection plan sales upon them getting started and so forth. Now, you just made $160 in your cab bonus plus residual income. Because remember, these protection plans paying $87 a month, so there's residual income associated with that. But you don't have to stop there. You can move up to senior field trainer. That's $5,000 in volume between you and your whole team. And then you, again, bring on a new agent that gets started, has a couple of protection plan sales. You just made $240 in your cab bonus plus residual income. How about up to sales director? $10,000 in volume between you and your entire team. You bring on a new agent. They go out and have a couple of protection plan sales. That's $380 you just earned. So think about it. Now, you're a sales director. You go out and bring on a new agent. You help them and work with them. They've got a couple of protection plan sales now. You made $380. Is it possible you could do it 2 times a week? Is it possible you could do it 3 times a week? Well, if you do, you're making now over $1,000 a week. And now you start to see how, wow, people can transition out of their current job, where a lot of times they don't want to be, into this great career with FES, to earn this money and have this freedom and this flexibility and this quality of life. So it's amazing. Now, think about this for a second. You're going to bring on new agents. You have the opportunity to earn these customer acquisition bonuses. Well, you know what? You're going to have your new agents who are going to want to do the same thing. So how does that work? So let's just say you are a field trainer. You bring on a new agent, and that new agent adds an agent to their team. They go on and bring on a new agent, and that new agent has a couple of protection plan sales. Well, now the agent that you introduced to the business gets a $100 CAB bonus and residual income, and you make $60. Now think about this for a second. You might live in Atlanta, right? And you may know somebody that lives in Michigan, and they get started, and that person in Michigan may know somebody in Los Angeles, California, and they have a couple of protection plan sales all the way out in Los Angeles, and yet the person in Michigan just made $100, and you're in Atlanta and you made $60. I mean, can you see how exciting that could be? And so that's as a field trainer. But if you were a senior field trainer and the same thing happened, you would earn $140, and your agent that introduced that new agent would make $100. But you would earn $140, and you would have that residual income coming in. And if you were a sales director, same scenario. You bring on a new agent who brings on a new agent. They had a couple of protection plan sales. You just made $280 plus residual income. So this can add up, and what's exciting is it doesn't just stop there. This goes all the way up to what we call a senior executive vice president, all the way up to $550, and we're talking about this pays to unlimited levels. So I'll give you an example. As a vice president, right here, if you look at vice president, they get up to $500. So they bring on a new agent, and that new agent goes out and has a couple of protection plan sales. That vice president just made $500. But when they help their new agent bring on some new agents who also generates the protection plan sales, they're going to get $400 every time that happens. 400, 400, 400, 400, 400, 400, 400. So as you might imagine, that as your organization grows, as your team develops, you know, you've got all these different CAB bonuses coming in. It adds up. It could be a considerable amount of money. Now, that's as a vice president. But that works at any level to unlimited levels. But let's bring it down, because vice president is $100,000 in volume a month. It's a significant position with our company. It takes a lot of hard work, a lot of effort to get there. But let's lower it down to sales director. Okay, back to $10,000 in volume. Just $10,000 in volume between you and your team. So imagine this. As an example, you've got some people, different parts of the country, and let's just say during a month, you go out and your team grows by 20 agents, not because one person got 20 agents, but because you were able to go out and have one agent got 2, and another agent got 1, and another agent got 4. No one's breaking records. Everyone's doing a little bit. And let's just say those new agents that got started only did a couple of protection plan sales, all right? They had a couple of protection plan sales. And what does that mean to you as a sales director? Well, how about $5,000 in total CAB bonuses for that month? How about that? And so when you look at that, you say, wow, you know, because when you look at overall income, there's a lot of people that don't make $5,000 a month working really, really hard at a full-time job. And this is something that's very doable. Of course, it takes work, effort, commitment, training, and so forth. But you can get there, and then you can go beyond. But if you're earning $5,000 a month anyway, that puts you in the top 10% of the money earners in the country. So when you look at it and say, what if I was able to do this once a month? I'm earning about $5,000 a month. But what if I was able to do it once a week? You know, now you're looking at about $20,000 a month. I mean, that's above average income. And that can really change people's lives. But you don't have to stop there. What if you did it twice a week? I mean, you do the math. You start to figure out what this can look like. But as a company, we don't stop there. Because you know what we do? We not only want to help people generate an income, we want to help them to develop a residual income. We like to say we don't want to just help people to help people make money when they work. We want to help people make money when they don't work. And that's the power of residual income through our protection plan membership. So here's an important question. After everything you've heard so far, think about this. Do you believe it's possible? And I don't know whether this is going to happen over the next week, whether it's going to happen over the next month, whether it's going to happen over the next year. Do you believe it's possible that you can go out and find 5 people that could benefit from this opportunity and or the services? Well, first of all, if you believe that, you're going to get your services for free. Because when you have 5 agents and our customers, now you get your service for free. So everything we talked about, you have at your disposal for free. It's awesome. Now, let's look at how the residual income can start to develop. Because let's say, in this example, you've got 5 agents on your team. And all they did was believe the same thing that you believe. That, yes, it's possible that I can go out and get 5 others that believe in this opportunity, in these great services. Well, once you had 5 people go out and get their 5, you have 25 more people now on your team. And when those 5 got 5, you just added 125. And when those 5 got 5, you just added now 625. And if those 625 also went out and got 5, you would now have 3,125 people on that level on your team. And if you added all that up, you'd have almost 4,000 people responsible for your income on your team. Now, let's keep in mind the odds of this happening perfectly like this is highly unlikely. This is a theoretical example, and we got to understand the odds of 5 that get 5 that get 5 that get 5. It's highly unlikely, right? You can have one that gets 2, somebody else gets 3, somebody else doesn't get anybody. Somebody else gets 20. So it's gonna change, and it's gonna range, depending on the person. But the whole point of showing you this is it's called exponential growth. It's called multiplication. How can we help you to develop a strong residual income? And here's why. Because if you say this, if you've got almost 4,000 people in this example responsible for your income, that's awesome, isn't it? But here's the question that I always like to ask people. How many do you have now? How many people are responsible for your income now? Because in most people's cases, it's just them. And so what happens if you by chance had an illness you had to deal with? Or what if you had a serious family issue you had to attend to, but you couldn't because you were stuck at work, because you couldn't afford to leave that, because that's your main source of income or your only source of income. But here's the thing. If you had other people sponsoring income, you could attend to those things and you could be okay because you still had income coming in. I always tell people the best retirement is income. Having an income continually coming in for the rest of your life. And that's what FES can afford you. Now, if we go one step further, you'd have now 15,000 plus people on the next level of your organization. If you total all that up, you'd have almost 20,000 people sponsoring income. And you know what kind of income that would lead to? 75 grand a month, around 75 grand a month. Now, some people are going to look at that number and think that's preposterous. They're going to be extremely skeptical. They're going to think, no way. Well, I can assure you, yeah, there is a way, okay? There is a way. People do get wealthy in America. There are people doing really well. The question is not if it's happening. The question is who is it happening to and who wants to make it happen. But when you look at it and you say $75,000 a month, that would be an incredible amount of money to make. But let's say you never got there. What if we reduce it down? What if we say instead of $75,000, you only made $7,500 a month? What if it was 90% less? I mean, think about that for a second. That's still excellent income on your terms, right? Making your schedule, controlling your advancement, controlling your schedule, everything like that. You're in control, making $7,500 a month. That's well above average income, especially doing it on your own. But even if you look at it as a part-time opportunity, a supplemental income opportunity, what if you only got 1% of this? What if you were 99% off and still were earning $750 a month? So when you look at that, you say, wow, this is an opportunity that I could start building a residual income. And listen, is it going to take time? Sure. Is it a process? Absolutely. But what else are you doing to get there? And we don't just stop there. Not only are we affording people this income opportunity, but we have some amazing perks. We literally have a benefit program called the R&R Club, and all about accumulating protection plan memberships. That's what it's all about. So not only does the company pay you for accumulating protection plan memberships, but they'll also give you these additional perks, like give you a car allowance up to $600 for an Audi. So you could be driving a beautiful Audi that the company's paying for. And I can assure you, an Audi is a beautiful car. If you've never driven one, you should go test drive one. Amazing vehicle. I tell people everybody needs an Audi, and the company will pay for it. And how about cash bonuses? $10,000, $25,000, $50,000 cash bonuses? I mean, what company provides you that. How about they increase your allowance of $600 up to $1,500? So now you kind of got this expense allowance. You got this $1,500 payment that's coming in, pay for your car and so forth. I mean, what company has that? How about a $5,000 monthly house payment? I mean, who has that? How about a retirement bonus, matching you dollar for dollar on your income up to $25,000 a month? That'll help you catch up on retirement pretty quick. And literally what we call lifetime bonuses, anywhere from $100,000 a month up to $250,000 a month. And I know that, again, sounds astronomical, but I could tell you, like myself, you see, I'm somebody that believes that those are attainable and wants to attain them. And there are other people out there who feel the same way. Now, when you look at the overall R&R Club, I mean, there are people doing it. This what you're looking at are the folks that are on our R&R Club who are out there driving Audis, who are out there getting cash bonuses and so forth. And the question is, why not you? Why not you? Why can't you be added to this picture right here of all these great people who are living an incredible lifestyle, and they simply just made a decision to get started with FES. Now, the R&R Club total benefits are worth over $3 million annually, and it's for people that want to achieve true wealth and freedom. Is it a lot of work? Absolutely. Is it going to take some time? Absolutely. We got people doing it, though, within their first year, and we've got people doing it in several years. But how many years would it take you at the current situation you're in to get any of these things? For most people, they might work 40 years at a company and end up with a watch with the name of the brand it ends with an X, and it ain't a Rolex, right? It's probably a Timex. I mean, is that what people are striving for? And to each his own. If that's what they choose and that's what's best for them, that's okay. But what about you? What about you? Do you want wealth and freedom? And maybe this opportunity could be a way to give it a shot to see if you can go make it happen. Now, here's the thing. We know we've got a great service that everybody needs. We know we're paying out a considerable amount of money to the agents that want to put the effort forth. But what's most important in terms of our success is the fact that we take people under our wing and we show them how to do it. We train them. We support them. We help them to get the best information from the best sources in our company. And the reason why this is important is for two reasons. Number one, it doesn't matter who invited you to take a look at what this opportunity has to offer. Somebody had you watch this video. That person cannot impede your success. They may be new themselves. They may be excited. They may want to help you. They may want to see you get started. But what if they don't know all the information? Because they don't. The best part about what we do is that person cannot impede your success. You can plug into our system, you can learn from the very best people we have, and you can go out and even do better than the person that invited you. And you know what? They'll be happy about it. They'll be glad. I love when people want to do better than me. Hey, Greg, I'm going to do better than you. When? Hurry up. Let's go. There's no threat here. It's not like in corporate America where you don't want the new employee coming up to the boss saying, hey, man, I'm shooting for your job. That wouldn't be something that the boss would appreciate. Here, we would appreciate it. So that's what's great about our system. But the second thing is a person might consider themselves, well, I'm not sure. I'm not the greatest salesperson, or they'll come up with a reason, right? Maybe they feel like, well, I'm too old, or they feel they're too young, or they feel they're too shy, or they feel they don't know enough people, or they feel they're not the best salesperson. But remember this. It's about incorporating the efforts of other people. It's not about you. So let me ask you this. If you're not the best salesperson, you think it's possible that there's some other good people out there that could be on your team? Is it possible you even know some good salespeople? How about if you feel like you're too old, is it possible that you could go out and you could get some younger people? Or you feel like you're too young? Do you feel like you could go out and get some more mature people in your business? Or you're not the most outgoing person? You feel like maybe you know some people that are more outgoing? See, it doesn't matter, because you can incorporate the efforts of other people. What matters is, do you have a desire to have a better way of life? Do you have a desire for more success? Do you have a desire to live while you have a chance to live? So those are the things you got to think about, and our system can help you to build a business regardless of where you come from and what you're doing. And we do it in a multitude of ways. We have online training, we have conference call trainings, local trainings with local area leaders. We have regional product trainings. We have what we call Secrets of Success trainings. These are very intense 2-day programs that we put on that really help people get off to a great start, get the basics, but also can get some advanced training as well. And you're learning from the best best people we have, and we also give people an opportunity for a national advanced leadership workshops to really take this thing to the highest level that you want. So when you look at that, what's left? The only thing left is results, because everything else is really irrelevant. These are some folks that have gotten started with a company and kind of the stories. And there's so many stories. You know, we could spend hours and hours and hours going over all the people and the success we've had with our company. But this is Wayman and Jean Kimpson out of Atlanta, Georgia. They were real estate brokers. They got really stressed out on the fact that they were constantly waiting on closing and sometimes waiting weeks and even months, and they were having a lot of stress. They found FES, and now it's their full-time career. They plugged into the trainings. They went and they learned how to do the business. Now they're regional vice presidents. You're talking about over $250,000 a month in volume. They're R&R club members, and they feel confident about their retirement. How about Warren Bauerfeld from Minnesota? This is a guy who's a business owner, was watching his income go backwards because his industry was changing. He was worried about his financial future, learned about FES, said, wow, okay, this is something I need to look into. Started to get involved, started to plug into the trainings, get educated, attend the trainings again and again and again. A lot of hard work. Now a vice president, over $100,000 in volume. R&R Club, driving an Audi. Now feeling confident about his long-term future. How about David Moon? David was a radio broadcaster. Sounds exciting, doesn't it? Sounds like it could be very lucrative. Well, it wasn't. You know, he was talking about the fact that he barely was getting by. He was frustrated, felt like his dreams were slipping away. No longer now in the broadcasting industry, got involved with FES, plugged into the trainings, learned the business, worked hard, and now he's a regional vice president, R&R Club member, feels like he has his dreams back. How about Jill Halbreich? Was in retail, 70 hours plus a week. She felt stressed. She felt frustrated. She needed a change, a better way, like so many people do. Plugged into the training, started to grow as a person, started to get educated. Now is a regional vice president and an R&R Club member, making more money than she ever did before and living life on our terms. I mean, there are so many of those stories in our companies, and anybody can be that story if they're willing to do the work and get trained and take advantage of the opportunity that's in front of you. Now, when you look at all that FES has to offer, at some point, it just comes down to making a decision. And that's what life is anyway. Life is a series of decisions. And the more decisions you make that work out well versus decisions that don't work out well, the better off you do. It's just like in sports. Decisions are like wins and losses. And of course, if you have a lot of wins, you win a lot of championships and things of that nature. So it's just about making a decision as to what level of interest you have after looking at FES. Maybe you think, you know what? Sounds good, but at this time I don't have an interest, and that's okay. But I'm sure you want to see the person who invited you to watch this video. I'm sure you want to see them do well. So maybe you know somebody this would be a good fit for, or maybe you know somebody that the service would be something they could benefit from. And so make sure you pass along some of those referrals to the person who had you watch this video. Or maybe you're the kind of person that says, you know what, I just need the services. You know, I need to get my personal and financial affairs in order. I need to get my credit score way up, and I'm going to start out as a protection plan member. And then the next individual is somebody that says, I have a great interest in this. I need the protection plan for myself, but I need a financial opportunity. I need a change. I want to change. I want to transition at some point out of my job and have the quality of life that I've always dreamed of. And really what I need to know is, okay, so I'm that person. What do I do? How do I get started? What's the game plan? So what I want to do is just quickly run through exactly the steps that it takes to get started. We call them 4 steps to getting started, 4 simple steps. The first step is you enroll and become an agent. And then you make a decision. Do you want to start more slower as what we call a slow business builder, or do you want to be more of a pro? Do you want to get out there and and the difference is training. Do you want professional training, or do you want to use just some of the slower methods of getting training? And that decision is up to you. But here's the difference. If you start out as an agent, you're going to first of all invest a one-time agency enrollment fee of $199. Now think about this for a second. Going back to hybrid marketing. This is the part where we're talking about all the infrastructures in place. Because imagine this, if you want to be a true entrepreneur, you would have to do everything yourself. You would have to develop the products yourself. You'd have to manufacture the products yourself. You'd have to pay for all the infrastructure of providing the services. You'd have to hire the home office staff, or all the customer service agents, all the agent support team. You would have to have an accounting firm, a legal team. I mean, you're talking about now hundreds of thousands and probably more like millions of dollars. You get all of that. You get all of that for $199. And so that's what's so amazing about the opportunity. To think that you could go out, if you think back to the numbers we talked about, the kind of income that can be generated, and you could start your business for $199 at one-time agency fee is ridiculous. So that's the first thing. And then you obviously get on the protection plan, because you've got to be a member yourself so you can utilize the services, benefit for the services, have testimonials of the services and what they've done for you. So as a slow business builder, it's $286. But as a pro, it's $475. And the reason being is because this individual really wants to get professionally trained. They want to learn from the best. And it's kind of like when you think about it, if you had a chance to watch a few videos online of a basketball player teaching you how to play basketball versus you getting to work with a pro hands-on that you can learn all the ins and outs of how to do something, who would you want to learn from? Think about this for a second. Everybody we want to do business with, we want them to be professionals, right? When we go to a doctor, don't we already believe that they went to medical school, that they've already gone through residency, that they know what they're doing? They're professionals, right? If we need an attorney, don't we want to know they went to law school, that they've been practicing, that they're prepared to represent us? When we get on an airplane, don't we want to know that the pilot has had professional training? So it's always funny to me when people don't understand that the reason why most people aren't successful is because of the training we didn't get. And now you have an opportunity to get that training and people, balk at it or they'll hesitate. And that's the key. The key is, in order to end up in a better place and be more successful, you know what's got to change more than anything? What you think. What you think. Because what you think is going to lead to what you do, and what you do in terms of your action is going to lead to the end result. And so the trainings we provide are phenomenal. You invest in yourself to get out there to learn the business at a high level. But you make that choice whether you want to go at a slower pace or you want to go at a professional pace. And when I say that, I don't mean that you're leaving your job or something like that. I mean that you want to learn from pros that are really making this thing happen. Now, what are you going to learn at a Secrets of Success training? Well, all the things that you would want to know to go out and start building your business as quickly as possible, like how to establish corporate accounts, how to sell protection plan memberships, how to establish a substantial team of agents, how to manage that team once you have it, because it hopefully is going to grow nationwide, how to understand and maximize the compensation plan, how to build long-term residual income, how to become a successful FES leader, and just develop the right mindset and attitude for success that you need. And all of this is going to happen because you're going to learn from a top producer how to be a top producer. Now, upon your enrollment, you're going to get your own personalized website. Again, what would it cost just to develop a website? This is included in your agent enrollment. You're going to get an online sales tracking system. You got agent and customer support already there for you. You've got access to professional marketing materials. We get paid weekly, so the company pays on Thursdays, and then we get tax benefits. I mean, think about how important it is to have those write-offs. If you're working a regular job, you're getting a W-2, this is an opportunity to own a business for yourself that you can now take deductions for building your business, and that can help offset some of what you're paying in taxes. So there's so many benefits to having your own business, but ultimately the best benefit is to have that control like we talked about. Now let's talk about step 2. Becoming a protection plan member for yourself. Why? Because no one person needs to believe in the services more than you. I would hope no one person believes they should be protecting their family more than you. And so that's what the protection plan will provide you. Now you're going to know the service, you're going to use the service, you're going to be engaged in the service, you're going to be comfortable and being able to share it with others. So that's powerful. And then also, it's going to lead to some other benefits as well, some incentives, some trips that we have access to winning and so forth. So being a protection plan member is really important, and that's step 2. Step 3 is exposing people to FES. I mean, this is how we develop sales. This is how we build our business, by exposing people to what we do. And so just think about it. Who do you know that may have less than perfect credit, doesn't have a will, trust, power of attorney, maybe has debt, no idea how to pay it off, would benefit from a system? Or who do you know in credit-related industries? Do you know somebody in real estate or the mortgage business or the banking industry or the car business? Who do you know is looking for part-time or full-time income? Or who's frustrated with their current career, needs a change? Or who wants to become financially free? Like, who do you know that may want to get rich? like me, I wanted to get rich, and I don't mean just get rich financially, but get rich in everything I do. Get rich in freedom, get rich in health, get rich in my mindset, and get rich in my ability to live life to the fullest. And so, do you know some people like that? Because if you do, it's very simple. All you want to do is expose them to what FES has to offer and let them make their own decisions. So when you get started in the business, you know people, right? That could be a friend, a family member, a coworker, someone you went to school with. And the thing that you have between them that's valuable is an existing relationship. There's trust there. You have a rapport with this particular person. But what you lack when you first get started is the respect and credibility, because you're new. You don't have all the answers. You couldn't present the opportunity the right way from the beginning because you don't know all the ins and outs and all the information. So what you want to do is team up with experts in the company. You want to team up with individuals who can present the opportunity, who can present the service, who can answer the questions, who can walk people through step by step what it takes to get started. And all you got to do is a good job of edifying those people and promoting those people and putting those people in a position to share the opportunity for you until you get up to speed and learn how to do it for yourself. Very important thing to do when you first get started. You don't want to go out and try to present it yourself because you're just not going to do it as effective as somebody who has the experience can do. And then the last step 4, schedule your first training. You know, if you're going to start a little slower, well, then you're going to schedule your first training so you can watch some videos online or get on some of the conference call trainings and get out to some of the local trainings. If you want to be a pro at this, well, then you're going to do all those things, of course, the online training, the conference call training, the local trainings, but you're going to want to find out where are the regional programs, where are where's this company like FES University that can go out and show me how to do this at a high level. And we've got trainings all around the country that you could plug into, that you'll know where the schedule is. The person who invited you to look at this video will give you the chance to know where those trainings are, who are doing those trainings, all the best people we have, vice presidents, regional vice presidents, executive vice presidents, and so forth, and R&R club members, people that are doing it, are showing you what they did. So it's a great thing to be able to do. So now there's just a quick recap. What is your level of interest? Maybe, again, there's no interest at all. And possibly you could just provide referrals to the person who had you watch this video, and that'll be great. Or you're just interested in becoming a customer. You want to utilize services and build your credit score and get your personal and financial affairs in order. And that's great also. But then you may want to start as an agent. And then it's just deciding, do I want to go slow, 286? Do I want to be a pro, 475? And the biggest thing is, you know, people tend to focus on the dollars. They really do. They look at it and they may look at 475. Oh my gosh, 475. And the thing you got to understand is this, is if this number is an issue in your life, my question would be, well, how's it going? I mean, is what you're doing working? And I know that as good as anybody because, as I mentioned, I know what it's like to live check to check, month to month. I know what it's like to struggle financially. I know what it's like to live somewhere I don't want to live and drive a car that isn't the car that I really desire driving. And I didn't have money either, but that's the reason I decided to try something different. I didn't know how it would turn out. I didn't know that we would build the business that we did and get to the level that we have. I didn't know that, but I knew if we didn't do anything, we would stay where we are. So we made the investment in ourselves. We believed in ourselves, and we understood that if this was going to continue to be an issue in our lives, we had to do something. And that's what you got to ask yourself. Now, some of you, it may not be an issue, and that's great, but for the others of you that it is, then you really have to consider, what are you doing to change it? Do you want to change it? Do you want to be in a better place? And maybe FES can be the better place for you. But it's all about making a decision. It's all about getting started. And it's all about seeing what can happen. You know, so many people want to They imagine themselves like being on the field at a major sporting event, being a professional. But most of their lives, they just sit up in the stands and watch others live out their dream. Well, it doesn't have to be that way in life. It doesn't have to be that way in your career. This is a situation that you can get out of the stands and you can get on the field and you can be a big player in this game and you can win big. But you got to make the decision to get started. So listen, somebody invited you to watch this video. Let them know where you stand. If you're ready to get started, they'll help you. We look forward to working with you here at FES, and upon getting started, we congratulate you and we welcome you to the FES team.